Super cool to see you again. I haven't seen you since I lost a four-way tug of war match to Bananas and Nani at the Side House in Exile. You remember that?
I don't remember. No, I can't
Okay.
remember, man. I'm sorry, dude. I hit my head.
No problem. It's
how
okay.
you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Yeah, as you've seen, I haven't cut my hair since the show. I'm doing good. I look like a rock star, huh? I'm looking great.
Dude, that's awesome, man. You
Yeah.
look awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, you look pretty good too. Is it cold out there?
Yes, yes, very.
Okay. Yeah, you still in Vegas?
Yep.
Nice. How's that going?
It's going good, man. I love it here.
Nice, nice. Yeah, you got season
Yeah.
36 coming out. That's exciting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, do you still get excited before every new season comes out?
Hell yeah, dude. It's
Hell yeah.
awesome.
It is
I
awesome.
don't watch them. I don't watch them because it's embarrassing.
Okay.
It feels like it's like it's a little weird
Yeah.
because it's you. But yeah, man.
What feels embarrassing about it to you?
It's like it's like when you like you're like, why do I look like that? Like I just don't like how I look. I don't like how I sound. It just feels weird, you know?
Right. Yeah, I think everybody kind of shares that feeling. Like when you hear your voice on tape, you're like, that's what I
It's
sound like?
exactly that, bro. When you're the answer machine, you're like, dude, shut up.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it seems like you get to pick out whatever you dress like on the show too. Is that true?
Yeah,
That's great.
mostly, mostly.
Okay.
This season, they pretty much dressed me down. It's pretty funny. Like they dressed me a lot this season.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, it looks like every season, the budget seems to get more and, bigger and bigger, and they're making it feels a little more formal, more professional sometimes.
yeah, dude, they are, man. It's going good. Like I'm very impressed. I have to say, like they're doing it,
Yeah, it's pretty
and it
amazing.
just gets bigger and better every season. And now it's starting to take shape.
Yeah, and you guys keep pulling from more and more shows from all over the world, which is pretty
Yeah,
wild.
dude, like it's badass that we have so many different people and the eclectic group, like from the UK and from Turkey and from everywhere else. I love it. And
Yeah.
and it's really cool about the challenge is that we have like I think it might something like 20 different countries represented on our crew.
Wow.
Yeah. So like when we go out of the country, if somebody really shines, like 'cause we have to hire a certain amount of people from whatever country we're at. If somebody really shines, they get the call back to come on the next season. And it's pretty cool.
That's
Like
awesome.
so we've been collecting people over the years and we have just the most eclectic badass group of dudes and people and women and men that just build the most awesome we're all together trying to build something cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems like a really well-oiled machine at this point. Like you guys are killing it every year. And with
Thanks, bro.
no
Thank you,
problem.
man.
Yeah, and with the group of the eclectic group of challengers and stuff, it does feel like a small representative of like the whole world, you know? Because you got people from every different place. So
Yes, yes.
it's like this is what happens
Yeah, it's
when
dope, right?
yeah, it's like a cool experiment. It really is like a social thing of like how do people
Yeah,
act when they're all just put together in a place like that. Yeah.
100%.
Hell yeah. So yeah, you were doing the BMX before you got into the show. What was going on in your life when when they reached out to you and were like, "Would you want to host this show?"
I was still competing in BMX. So
Hmm.
then when they said that, I was like, that's Dave Mira's show. And then they were like, no, he's over it. Give him a call. And then I said, okay. So I called him and he was like, no, dude, do it. You'll do it for like 1 or 2 seasons. It's cool, but whatever. I'm kind of over it. I go, all right, cool. So he goes, you should do it though. You should do it. I say, all right. So I called up Vinny Potestivo. I was like, all right, Vinny, I'm down. And then they said, okay, well, it's between you, a snowboarder, and Nasty.
Yeah.
And so I went to Buena Murray in Hollywood, and they were like, what are you thinking? And I was like, I was winning at the time still. And I was like, well, you should take Nasty because he was my friend. And like he wasn't winning as much as I was back then. So I was like, man, take Nasty, And they were like, all right. So they wanted to take Nasty.
Yeah.
But MTV said, no, we want TJ. That's it.
Wow.
So then they had the kibosh and the whole thing. So I got the show, and then Nasty went on to become one of the best, probably the best dirt jumper in the whole history of the show.
Hell
Of
yeah.
the dirt jumping scene. He's the baddest dude still today. He's just completely killing it every day on Instagram.
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
wow. But I traded that life for traveling the world and doing the show. So it's cool. Like it's 6-1, half a dozen of another. I would have still been killing it in the backyard. I probably wouldn't have taken that slam and had the head injury, and I wouldn't have had all this stuff go down, and I would still be doing this, but I wouldn't have had the show. And so it's who knows which one is better. And I'm happy where I'm at, but I'm also happy for him. So it's
Totally,
cool.
dude. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like everything worked out the way it was meant to be,
That's it, man.
And that's super cool of you to pass an opportunity like that up front, to be like, let me give it to my boy. Like, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So, dude,
yeah, like barely anybody knows about that.
That's so
he
cool,
knows
man.
about it, and Justin Booth was he's the executive producer. He knew he was there. And that's the person I told to take Nasty, and he wanted to take Nasty. Like, that was his choice.
Yeah.
So this might have never ever been, It's
That's
funny.
crazy, dude. Well, that's definitely a testament to your character, man. You're a fucking dog. You're the dude. And
Oh, thanks, bro.
no problem, dude. And what was I gonna ask next? Something about doing the show. Fuck, I had something. It was good. I have a couple of these written down because I'm professional. I'm a pro. I'm doing it. Oh yeah, I wanted to say, your character, who you are, on the show. You kind of bring, like, it's almost like a childlike innocence, like a pureness you have for the game and, like, the love of competition, because you work in such an unbiased way on the show that you really, like, set a precedent for the mood and the vibe of the whole thing.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. It really is natural. There's no fake about it. There's no cheating, no amount of money, no nothing that will ever be able to take away what is right and wrong in my mind. You know what I mean? So, like, there's no way that I'm gonna half-ass something or second guess it, or it doesn't matter about the time. Like, sometimes, like, challenges go on for hours.
Yeah.
And we're standing there for hours.
Yeah.
Waiting for the outcome. But and we could easily just change a rule or something, or make it easier to go home.
Right.
But dude, if they're willing to sit out there and take it, then I'm willing to sit out there and do it too.
That's
you know
awesome.
what I mean? So it's like, I have to be as solid as they are in the game,
For
so
sure.
you have to give her, and I don't take it lightly. And I guess that's what has kept me around for so long. I think it's maybe that, and the interaction and stuff, I guess, is cool too, but it's just like they know that they're going to get something that's real. They know that it's not going to be fake. And like, sometimes they'll, if they lose, they'll cry wolf. They'll be like, this is bull crap or whatever. And then
Right.
I'm like, yo, that will never, ever fly.
Yeah.
And then they know that I'm serious. And they know that it won't. You know what I mean? They know for a fact. And I would never jeopardize the reputation of the show or the reputation of myself or anybody else that's doing the show to appease one person to try and make them happy or whatever. Like, dude, I'm not doing that.
Perfect. That's a great attitude to have, man. And I did always think you do kind of have a stoicism. Like, you keep your cool for every challenge, no matter how crazy or ridiculous it is. You still, you deliver it in a great way to me, which I thought was hilarious at the time being on the show. Because no matter how crazy it was, you'd be like, all right, guys, today we're going to be going down a zip line and sharks are going to be jumping at your legs. Let's go. And, like, you just go right to it. So, like, yeah, it's cool how you keep that same kind of energy for every challenge, which I think helps the mentality of the challengers to show, like, you're not worried about this shit. You're like, we're doing this. Everybody's going to make it, which is good. It's like a motivational thing, too. And, let's talk about that quitting idea. You hate quitting. Where do you think this comes from?
Well, the quitting thing is I mean, that's definitely from BMX, like,
Mm-hmm.
because I've been in some situations in 1997, back in the day, when I was competing at the X Games. I was the favorite to win, and I was supposed to win, and I was in practice. I took some of the hardest slams of my life,
Wow.
and yeah, and I like knocked myself out. I took slam after slam. My hips were all cut up. Both of my hands were cut up and the gloves ripped out, and I was just hammered.
Yeah.
And my manager at the time, his name was Travis Chiprez, and he was like, "All right, dude, well, it's time to either cowboy up, get some new gloves on, put some new pants on, put some new jersey on, or let's just go home."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, let's do it, man." So then new gloves, new kit, and he's like, "Listen to me, TJ. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you ride good. If you ride good, you live good." And I was like,
Hell
"All
yeah,
right."
man.
So that was it, dude. And I won. And it was
Nice.
like, it was sick, dude. And I did something that was so out of my realm. I never ever landed a tail whip on dirt before,
Yeah.
and I practiced them 100 million times here in Vegas, crashing my ass off, ball riding them on the seat, just whatever. I've never done them, especially on a jump that big that was at the bottom of the hill in San Diego, in Mission Bay. And I just said, you know what, man, I'm just going to do a tail up on this big ass jump and just end this thing right now.
Yeah.
And then I went up top, practiced it a couple times on the deck, and like jumping on how it was going to feel, visioned it, and sent it, and I made it. And I was like riding down the landing, like, oh my god, I just landed it. I just won the X Games. Went up the next thing, put my hands in the air, looked at the crowd. All the crowd was looking at me,
Nice.
and I was just like, yes.
Nice.
Oh, they were looking at me. They were going nuts. I was going nuts. Came down, hugged my mom. Was like, I've won the X Games, and that was
Hell
it,
yeah,
dude.
man.
Like, life
That's
is
beautiful.
badass ever since.
Nice. Dude, yeah, there's definitely something there about feeling good, looking good. Yeah, mind, body, the more you're together, the better you perform. Like all that stuff, super real, spirituality, just, being in the moment, all that stuff. And yeah, with the quitting thing too, I think with the challenge, it's definitely hard to see somebody throw away an opportunity that so few people in the world ever get to do.
It is, bro. It is. And that's like something that, I knew that anybody in the world that rode bikes would give anything to be in my position at that moment.
Yeah.
Like to be in the running for the X Games, like to be like that's number one in the world. Like this is it. This is the whole kit. And I mean you rode your whole life to get here. And now you're going to throw it away just because of a couple crashes.
Right.
You crashed every day of your life, dude. No worries.
Yeah.
And so I just like buckled down and sent it. And like that, Travis is a very huge inspiration in my life. Like he's a badass dude. And he's a world champion BMX racer. And he like knows what it takes to dig as deep as you have to get the job done. And so he and I won the X Games a few times. And we won in 97. Then we won the European Championships in 98. And I crashed at the X Games. And then I came back in 99, won the X Games again here in America. And then in 2000, went over to Australia and won it there. So, like, it was so cool. Like, the amount of championships that he and I won together from the King of Dirts to the X Games, 3 different kinds of X Games, to Gravity Games here in America, which was the NBC version of the X Games, to DK Dirt circuits over and over again, to Daredevils of Dirt. There's so many King of Dirt series, Crazy Freaking Biker, which is like this one where you win a straight jacket if you win the series.
Okay.
And I won the series. It was a
Nice.
golden straight jacket.
Hell
It
yeah.
was sick.
That's
I won a
great.
motorcycle. Like I won a motorcycle on one of the Huntington Beach King of Dirt.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was so sick. Like, what a great, like, cool career. It was really, really an awesome time to be a BMX rider, no doubt about it. And
Hell yeah.
there's this guy named Ron Simio who made the X Games. He's like the main dude at the X Games, and he was like me and Nastasio and Nyquist. He was our biggest fan. He would come, and Stephen Murray, he would watch us ride every time, and he would be in the stands, and he had this really raspy voice. He has this really raspy voice, and he's so badass. He's such a cool dude. And he'd be in the stands, and he'd be like, "Guys, DJ, yeah," and like all this stuff. And I was like,
That's
"That's
awesome.
my guy. That's
Yeah,
my dude."
that's great. Yeah, hear your boy in the fan cheering you on. And that's dude,
Yeah,
and you sound super conscious and like aware of how like prolific your career has been, which is awesome. Like you're able to actually appreciate all the shit you've done so far and like really take that all in. So that's super cool, man.
well, I only do it like in an interview like this, like right now. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. Like, that is, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
it's when somebody like you says something like that, it's like, that's
Right.
cool. Yeah, I did do that or that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I go off on these tangents too because
No,
it
I
is what
love
it
it, dude.
is.
This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just,
All right,
we want to
sweet.
get to know you, man. Want to know your life. Yeah, as far as the BMX goes too, did you know, mess around with other stuff like skateboarding or anything different before you did bike?
I roller skated. I
Okay.
actually am a very good roller skater. People probably don't know that about me, but
Nice.
I'll go in and mess up a roller skating rink, dude, anytime. I could slide skate like crazy. Like I skated all through junior high.
Okay.
So all through my junior high school, I rode bikes and slide skated. Like, so I was a speed skater as well, but I wasn't that good at speed skating. My sister was real good,
Okay.
and like she would go to nationals and win them and stuff. And like I never really won any nationals on skates, but she was badass. And these were quad skates, not even like rollerblades yet.
Right.
And then she won on rollerblades and stuff later on. But I never even competed in rollerblading or anything like that. I was already in BMX doing it, so it was cool.
What drew you to the bike? You just picked up a bike one day and were like, "This is my shit."
Yeah, dude, I just loved it. I thought, you know, really like, what do you do anything in life, right? It's to impress the women. So like I knew the chicks loved it, and like I was like, well, chicks like this, they like the piano. I play piano already.
Nice.
I'll ride BMX, and then we'll be good to go.
Hell yeah,
No.
man. It sounds like you're doing a whole bunch of shit. So let's talk
Yeah.
about we got season 36 coming up. I looked at your IMDb before we came here. Right now it lists you have something like 343 episodes that you've done on the challenge. Fucking,
Really?
oh my god, bro. Fucking crazy. That's
That's
amazing.
sick.
That's sick. It
That is
is.
sick, dude.
That's amazing.
I thought it was over 300. I didn't know how many, but
Yeah.
I tried to do the math, and I was like, screw it. That's awesome.
Yeah, dudes, and I'm sure. So with season 36, that'll probably put it up past like, you know,
343.
three. It'll probably be at like 355, 360, something like that after this one. So that's great.
Wow.
Man. Yeah, and I tried to count out all the seasons with 26, with 36. It should be about 26 seasons you've done. Does that sound
Yeah,
right?
this is 26. Yeah.
Okay, this is 26. Wow, dude. A lot of time on the show, a lot of time on TV. That's amazing. Out of everything you've seen on this show, was there ever any challenges where you thought this is too far, this is too much?
When we greased up the cars,
Uh-huh.
and then we had them jump from car to car while they were 35 feet above the water.
Okay.
And I knew that they couldn't get footing on the car to jump to the other car to make it
Right.
because it was jumping up, it wasn't jumping down. So I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work, and it ended up not working. And Leroy took a hard slam,
Oh no.
and so it was scary, man. That was the scariest. That's the scariest slam that we've ever had. And we thought, you know what? That was very dangerous. Let's take off the
Sure.
the slippery stuff like a little bit more. You know, we don't have to make it that slippery, that hard, but we could change the game. So like I was like, take it off, and they were like, no, can't. And I was like, dude,
Damn.
we have to. It's too
Right.
dangerous.
Yeah.
So then they did a little bit, like kind of, but not really. They still left it super dangerous.
Okay.
And I was like, man, and they were like, dude, we already started. We can't, you know what I mean? The integrity of the game.
Right.
And we go back to that, you know, and
True.
it's like, dude.
Yeah.
So it was what it was, but that was the one thing that we were like, dude, this is gnarly.
Yeah,
and we were scared for everybody, but they got it done.
that's good.
That was the most dangerous one that we've ever done.
Okay.
But since then we learned, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah, you
and
learn every
and
season for sure.
yeah, dude, for sure. And there's no science to every single thing either. There's like there's testing and tests, and the testers did it with all the lube
Right.
and all the stuff. So it isn't like they weren't testing, but they happened to be CrossFit testers that were from the CrossFit gym, local CrossFit gym, who are amazing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're like just super athletes. And then you put them on with some reality TV show kids that don't really do that stuff that
Yeah.
much. You know what I mean? Like whatever. And it's like, dude. And then now Leroy, I bet you Leroy today could probably make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's a different dude than he was back then. So
For sure.
it's it's all right there. But it's a very safe and we take real care and pride in knowing that they're going to be okay. Everybody's going to be fine. And even when Leroy crashed that hard, he was never in danger of dying. He was like, he crashed his ass off, but there was guys right away in there in the water with the stuff going
Right.
out. He was fine.
Yeah.
But he was good to go. We had him checked out and everything else. But it's like that was the hardest hit that I've seen, in a while.
Gotcha. Cool. I've also noticed through the years you have a pretty specific sense of humor. You have a good sense of humor for all this stuff. Seeing people eat it in trivia, you love that. Bananas makes you laugh a good amount. What do you think is like the most entertaining part of the production to you? What do you like the most about being the host?
I love all those wisecracks,
Okay.
like the funny when the timing is right. It's like Bananas' timing is perfect. So it's like when all of it's said and done, and I already said all my lines, and there's nothing, whatever. Then say whatever you want, dude, and it's funny.
Right.
It's just let me get out all the stuff that I had to memorize because it's real hard to
Right.
memorize all that stuff. Like overnight, you have to memorize 6 pages sometimes
Right.
of whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, like, please don't shut up. Let me get through this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like when he was younger, he would just spout off, and I was like, dude, shut up for a second, please. And then I'll do it, and then we'd be like, all right, cool. But now his timing is perfect. The kid is impeccable. Like he's funny as hell. Like he'll say some gnarly shit like at the end of whatever I say, like suck my ass, PJ, or something that's funny. Like one time in trivia, he said, I asked him about soccer, and he said, your mom. And I was like, oh, no, my mom doesn't even play soccer. You know what I mean? Like, so like I got him back. It's pretty funny. So that stuff is funny. I like Bananas a lot. Stephen Bear is pretty funny, too.
Yeah,
like,
I like Bear
he's
a
a
lot.
UK kid. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's really funny. We love having him. There's a couple of dudes on there that are great. I love having Leroy. He like just his facial expressions. Like during this one, it was during COVID, right? So everybody had masks on and everything.
Okay.
Then we're getting ready to film, so we take the masks off, and now we're filming.
Gotcha.
And then we put the masks right back on. Everything was like super careful.
Okay.
And one time we took the masks off, and somebody sneezed, and then Leroy's face was like, he's looking at somebody, and it was so funny because he's like, and then like looking at me and looking at them, looking at me, looking at them, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I like it was just that kind of stuff is hilarious to me.
That's great. Yeah, filming during COVID, was that a little bit of a different mood like throughout production because of that?
Yeah, for sure, dude. It was definitely a different mood for me, man. Like I enjoy going out on the town and meeting all the coffee shop people and becoming friends with everybody in the restaurants, and I'm representing the show to the town, kind of. You know what I mean? So, like, we very, very much depend on that side of things. And sometimes, at this time, we couldn't do it, and it sucked, dude. Like, it sucked being in the bubble, not being able to go out and do it,
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is what it is. We got it done right, and nobody got sick. Nobody broke the rules. Everyone was trusting each other. We were all on the same team. We all had to fight for one thing, dude. 60, 70 days, no stopping, everybody together. No, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
awesome.
It's a big undertaking.
Yeah. And that's true. I guess you are kind of like a national ambassador when you go to these other countries.
Yeah, dude, you got to represent not only America, but like the show and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like you got to make sure that people don't hate us, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
for sure.
You got to try to represent the best of America and be cool and like let them know that we love you guys, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was on the 26th season, Battle of the X's 2, and I went to
Okay.
that from the first season of Are You the One, which is the show that they just put on Netflix right now, which is dope. But so like there was definitely more rules on the challenge versus the first show I did because it had been around for so long. It was a little bit stricter about like alcohol consumption, and they dyed all the liquors and stuff so people couldn't like hide it in their water bottles, and like we couldn't really mix with actual people in the town. We would have to be restricted to like our specific part of the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as the years have go on, it's been 10 seasons since then. Is it more like that? Have you guys gone a little more lenient? Is it still on that path?
Well, right now with COVID thing, it's real strict and
Right.
real. I mean, it's way gnarlier than what you ever thought.
Right.
But like they can't even go out at all. They never see the public. They never
Oof.
go out to a restaurant, or they never go to a bar. They never go to a club.
Damn.
They brought the club to them.
Yeah.
So they made a club in a dome
Cool,
at
man.
the house. So it was badass. I mean, they had a DJ every week.
Sweet.
They had everything sick, dude. But it's so gnarly, man. It was like very like it's a hard season to be on, man. But and the cast, that's why like I'm a little more lenient this season because it was a very hard season to be on, dude.
For
Like
sure.
it's a very hard season to be on. It's very difficult. Like everybody is already at the end of their nerves coming out there to begin with, and then now you're scared to get sick. You're scared to mess up. You're scared of this. You're scared of that. You're locked in the bubble with us. Everybody is together. Everybody's doing the same thing, and we're all like trying to make awesome television show.
Yeah.
And it was tough to, mentally it was very tough, and I can only imagine how hard it would be to become one of the challengers and what they had to go through. So I respected that a lot more. And when it was, when some people were having a hard time or going through a hard time or whatever, I'm not gonna go hard on them like I would normally in a normal situation, because this is a situation that not a million people would want to be in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like normally a million people in the world would give anything to give the right arm to go and be in Costa Rica on the beach in $1 million house with 20 other beautiful people and doing their thing.
Totally. This
one is a little different.
Yeah. Okay, so you've been doing the show 26 seasons now, super deep in. Do you have does production listen to your ideas? Do you have a decent amount of creative input?
Yeah.
That's great.
They do. And it like they do all the stuff. They're I'm not going to take any credit for anything that they do.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that I do contribute to is how is the game going to play out?
Gotcha.
How is something going to play out, and how could it be changed a little bit to make it a little better? So sometimes I'll do something like that.
Has there ever been anything that you really disagreed with that you were like, I don't think we should do this at all?
You know what, man? Yes, and I'm wrong on 9 times out of 10, dude. So yeah, I've disagreed with Justin on a few of the really, really hard finals.
Yeah.
And some of the sleeping arrangements and some of the stuff that he has them do.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're just a cruel son of a bitch. And he's like, yep. You know what I mean? And he goes through it and they do it. So and they get through it, and then their reward is $1 million, dude. So
for sure,
it's just a really badass thing. And then I don't think they can handle it, but he does, and he gets them through it. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely pretty amazing to, watch the limits of human strength and human ability.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, it's
yeah,
like
dude.
every year. I mean, it's like the way NBA players get bigger and stronger every year. Like, challengers are getting bigger and stronger every year. And it's like, yeah, you're really
Every year.
putting people through the fucking ringer, dude. Like, it's
Yeah, dude.
creating tough people, which is a cool thing to see.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's definitely inspiring for like other kids to watch these people on TV, especially when it's like someone who might be really pretty or something. If there's a really attractive guy or girl, and you go, oh, they can't handle this, but then they surprise everybody, like Jay the other season when he took out like the first three dudes.
Yes,
That was pretty amazing, dude.
yes.
That was crazy.
It was awesome.
Oh, yeah, so
Awesome.
yeah, like you really never know what people are going to be able to do till you find
And
out.
Big T surprises me all the
Yeah,
time.
she did
She's
great too.
just a badass.
Yeah, it's cool to like see people's true colors come out and like just that sense of fight and all that. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, yeah, what else I got for you? Yeah, this has been super cool so far. Thank you so much again for letting me
My
talk to you like
pleasure,
this,
man.
man. This is really great. Yeah, let's see. Okay, come on. I gotta. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think's the future? What do you think is the future of the show?
Um, I I couldn't tell you. That's that's somebody else above my pay grade that with the creativity that has to figure out where we're going.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think that we're stopping, dude. I think this is going to be a staple in American society for a
I
long time.
I think so too,
I,
dude.
I really think that this is it, man. Because it's a very interesting thing, and like none of us, we all do it for the passion.
Yeah,
You know, what I mean? We're all doing it for the right reasons. We love it, and that's you can't beat somebody that's doing it for the right reason.
yeah, yeah, and
So
it's the fact that it's pulling from so many different shows now is
yeah,
it's a great marketing technique as well to grab all of these audiences and be like, we got your favorite people in here, and we're seeing how they
yeah,
stack up.
exactly. And the worst possible case scenario is that you just you bring in fresh meat. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So like you have all this badass people like yourself and anybody else, and all of a sudden you just bring fresh meat in, and now we see what they do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's sick.
yeah, and fresh meat too wakes up all the vets too. You see
It's
new.
unlimited.
It's unlimited. Yeah, there's really no limit. Yeah, like it is. It's interesting to think, how much more extreme, how many different directions it can continue to go. Yeah, I really, I have no doubt that it's gonna rock out, till the end of time, dude.
And now there's people like that are like training.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
specifically
awesome.
for this. Yeah, it's like the
Yes.
Ninja Warrior type shit. Like,
Yes, yes. So now that people train, like Leroy practiced swimming.
yeah, and he got
You know what I
great.
mean? Like there's he couldn't swim to save his life in the first 8 seasons that he filmed.
Right.
And now he did 9 seasons. He was like, all right, a little better swimmer. Now season 10, he's the best swimmer I've seen him be. You know what I mean? He's like
Nice.
he's a swimmer now. He does it.
Yeah.
You know? It's awesome.
Yeah, I remember that moment. It was a couple seasons ago or so when him and Cam had that swimming thing to like make it to the final challenges. That was great. That was a pretty
Yeah.
epic moment to see. Yeah,
Yeah,
to
it's
like
cool.
see a full development of someone's skills to the point like that. Super cool. So yeah, let's just real quick about your own life. What do people say to you on the street and stuff when they see you?
It's hit and miss. Like sometimes they're saying that they love my BMX and yada yada. I love your BMX and yada yada.
Yeah.
And then some of them are like, I love the show and I love the challenge. And 9 times out of 10, women are the challenge and vice versa with the guys.
Okay, yeah, dudes
So
are BMX.
the guys
Cool,
are all
cool.
BMX. The guys are all like, oh, dude, your BMX is sick, man. And,
Yeah.
watch you ride and yada yada. And I'm like, thanks, man. And it means a lot to me because so many people come up to me for the show, and I'm like, dude, I broke every bone in my body. like some people think I'm just some TV dude,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, dude, like I rode.
When
But
was
it's cool.
when was the last time you competed in BMX?
2010.
Okay. How?
Yeah, I broke my orbital and wrist real bad right here,
Oh shit.
and and got into a coma for 2 weeks
Oh, that was the last
after
one you
that.
did when you were in the coma?
That's the last. Yep, that's the last competition I ever did.
Okay, but have you still, you still ride around and for fun and leisure
I don't ride BMX. I ride mountain bikes a
or
lot.
okay.
I ride for Specialized mountain bikes. So Specialized send me bikes, mountain bikes and stuff. That's the BMX company I used to ride for
Yeah.
back in the day. And that was like the one I was most known with was Specialized. And I won all the championships and everything with Specialized bikes. And like, I just really felt good about Specialized. So I called up Mike Sinyard. He owns Specialized. And I said, I just want to come home. Like, you got some bikes for me? He's like, well, hell yeah, TJ. Like, and he
Nice.
sent me some bikes, and now I'm like, I'm a Specialized mountain biker. I love it, dude. I love, and one of my old teammates, Aaron Cook, is in charge of the marketing program, and so he and I like now we're shooting texts at each other, and it's pretty badass, dude. It's
Sweet,
pretty
man.
cool that it's full circle. It's like because I love bike riding, I love bicycles, and who knows, maybe someday we'll come out with the Vegas line again for the BMX bikes, and they'll be cool, like some vintage stuff. Or
Yeah.
I know 26-inch and 24-inch bikes are real cool and popular. All those kids are doing wheelies and stuff. It'd be cool to get some Vegas lines going. Even if they're just a few offs, and be cool.
Do you think you would ever get back on a BMX bike, or is the physical trauma, you can't do it?
I can't say never because I never say never because that's like
Yeah,
just
that
dumb. But I
yeah.
I, I feel like I feel like I'm good, dude. Like I
Yeah.
feel like why don't I just like be happy with where I'm at
Yeah.
and know that I got lucky, and I did. I got real lucky. I mean, I really really want to ride. Like I see Nasty doing all of it, and I know how it feels, and I know I can still do that, and it feels like flying.
Yeah.
So like when you jump and you're in the air, you're just flying, and then you land, and like when you go that high and that fast, and you don't get hurt,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
No.
So like you jumping and then you're like so high and so far off the bike and so out of shape, and it should be just a complete disaster. And then you put everything back together and land, and then you have that downhill to land smooth, and then you land on that, and then it's steep, so you land smooth, and it's all very nice. And when that happens, the magical feeling in your stomach. I remember the first time I jumped the jump, and when I landed on the backside, that feeling, I was done. That was it, dude. I was like, I won. That's it.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful thing to think about. Yeah, just the finesse and like the smoothness of putting together. But it's also so gnarly and like gritty and wild.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And so like I have to appreciate that I've already had that feeling and that I've used it all up. It is what it is.
yeah.
I could possibly go and get it again, sure, but it's not my place to like say, I'm done, I'm retired, and make a big hubbub. I don't do that. I'm
Yeah.
like, it just is what it is, dude. If I ride again, cool. If I don't, cool.
Well, dude, your life sounds, it sounds like you're pretty put together, like you have a great existence, like you're at peace, like things sounds awesome. Is there anything in life that you want that you don't have?
Um, no, no,
Nice.
yeah, no,
Fuck
nothing.
yeah, man.
Nothing, dude. Nothing. There's no car, there's no money, there's no dog, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
I have every dog, everything. I have a badass wife. I have an amazing daughter. Like, I had met her when she was 5, and she like couldn't be more successful and cool. And I love everything that goes on. My family's all awesome. It's like, dude, it's seriously like it is. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
That's amazing. Yeah, it sounds super zen, dude. It sounds really peaceful and super healthy where you're at in your life.
Thanks, man.
Is there
Thank you.
any specific advice you would just, I don't know, give to anyone out there? Just, anything?
Yes. The number one thing, my number one rule has always been free time.
Free time?
That's the only thing that matters in life is free time. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like I didn't care about anything else my whole life.
Yeah.
was free time. That's it.
Sweet.
Like, and so, like, I don't give a shit about money. I don't care about any car. I don't care about any watch. I don't care about anything. It's free time, dude. And I like all those fancy cars. I like all that stuff a lot. I love it. Like, I have a bunch of badass old school cars and whatever. And I love business too. I love going and making money and trying to make this and make that and do businesses and all this stuff. It's real cool. It's real fun. And I like to hustle. So that's great. But at the end of the day, I really don't give a shit if it takes up all my time.
Yeah.
If it takes up all my time, I don't want it.
Right.
Like, I don't want it. I don't care what it is. And that's why, like, with the challenge, like, I really try to give my 100% when I'm there and all my stuff and do whatever I do. I learn my lines. I pay attention. I focus. I get the job done 100%, exactly how it's supposed to be, how they want it, and do the real good job. Don't mess around. Don't screw up. I've never, ever been drunk at a challenge or anything like that. I mean, I don't even drink, so it doesn't matter.
Cool.
But I've only been drunk once in my life, like,
wow,
for real. So it's not a big deal for me not to drink, but I'm just saying, like, I don't go get high. I don't go get drunk. I don't do any shit. I don't party. I don't do none of that. Like, I just focus on the job when I'm there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, when I'm working, and that's it, 100%. And then I'm done. I'm chilling, and it's over, and I'm like, free. This is my time now, like, free time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, I'm not going to do shit. Whatever I don't want to do, I'm not going to do. So I play guitar now. Like, I took up guitar 2 years ago, and I could already play songs because I focused on it, and I just really do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just focus on shit and just do stuff you want to do. And, like, and I wrote a song. I've been writing songs for 100 years, but one of the raps that I wrote back in the day, I said, "Do what you do and do what you feel." Now, to me, that's just keeping it real, for real.
Nice.
And that is the best line I've ever written. And like, I look at that line and I'm like, God damn, I was genius. Like, I'm so glad I thought of that line in 1998. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's so cool.
Like, yeah, it's so cool, because that's what I did. You know, my whole life. It's just do what you do and do what you feel. Now, to me, that's just keeping it real. Real.
Well, yeah, you have this great work ethic. You have this great mentality. How did you get to this point?
I think success, like when you succeed at something, that gives you a little bit more confidence.
Yeah.
For the next one, and then now you succeed at that, and you're like, oh Jesus, I could do that too.
Yeah.
And then the next one. So it all started when, like, I started playing an organ when I was 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
I could play Silent Night on an organ, and I got a lot of attention from that. So when I got attention from that, I was like, oh, they like that.
Yeah.
So then I started playing, and I started getting better and better, and I started playing chopsticks and started playing, like, all these songs, and people, like, and I don't even know how to read music, but I just knew how to hear it. I knew that what went where, and I focused on it, and it was a passion. So, like, I tell all the little kids when I go visit schools, find your passion. Well, that was my passion, was music. So I went to music class. Then I played the drums all growing up. I played the drum set, and I would go in there into my room for hours and play the drums.
Yeah.
For hours.
Yeah.
And I had a badass mom that was like, put a drum set in the back room, and she just let me go out there and bang them. Like, most moms would be like, all right, shut it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and not her. She was like, go out there and cut sick. Don't do whatever you want.
That's great.
You know, I'd just be out there and just drumming my ass off. And so I got real good on the drums. So that gave me confidence. I was like, dude, now I'm good at drums. So now I can play piano, I can play drums, and now I'm going to go roller skating. So I'd go, because I was roller skating all the time. So I was like, now I started slide skating and started, like, doing all these stuff with all these badass dudes on slide skates and skating. And I was like, now I'm one of the best roller skaters in the skating rink. and now, so I just kept going and kept doing it hours. And like that song, 10,000 Hours, couldn't be more true.
Yeah.
And so I would be 10,000 hours in the skating rink. Then I went to the BMX track. And when I went to the BMX track, I was like, this feels exactly like when I started playing keyboards.
Yeah.
Then I graduated to piano and killed it.
Yeah.
When I started playing drums, graduated to the drum set in my bedroom, killed it. Then when I started roller skating, put 10,000 hours in, killed it. Now I'm at the BMX track. And I remember specifically the first night I was ever at the BMX track. I was at Nellis BMX, on Nellis in Cheyenne. It was probably 6 o'clock at night. And I was sitting there looking at everyone. And I was like, someday, all these people are going to know my name.
Nice. And you
real.
manifested it. You literally made it happen.
I did. I rode BMX. I did real well. And I was in beginner. I was a 13 beginner or something. And I went from 13 or 14 beginner, got that first trophy. It was a third place trophy. It was this big.
Yeah.
One of the dogs ate it, but it was this big, and it was badass, and it was purple and gold. And I was like, this trophy means so much to me. And it made me become a BMX rider. And like, then I all of a sudden just started getting good and better and better and better. And I was the best in the neighborhood. And then I was the best in Las Vegas. And then I was the best in the United States. And then I was the best in the world. And it was crazy. So now then I manifested that into, now we fast forward into television. And I remember the very first flight that I got on to go into Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
On my way to the first challenge that I ever hosted. And I saw these people on there. One of them had a cowboy hat on. He was one of the producers.
Uh-huh.
And then the other guy had a fedora on or something. He's like real hip, real cool. And that was Jeff Schmidt, who's one of the producers. And he's a badass dude. And I remember seeing him and seeing these dudes. And I didn't even know. I thought they might have been cast members. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So then when I went there, I was like, these people are going to know my name one day. Same exact thing. It was crazy. And so then it all worked out. And it was like, it's like I had the confidence from BMX to go out there and put myself out there and just be like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like I did the challenge, and now I do the show, and now I'm the guy on the show. All of a sudden now I'm the X Games winner of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like of reality competition shows, I won the X Games in my mind. You know what I mean? I'm like so happy. 26 seasons. It's like, you can't, that's awesome. You know what I mean? That's great.
Dude.
However many episodes, what did you say?
343 at the moment.
That's insane, dude.
It's crazy.
Like, that's insane. So now I'm sitting here at 356 or 7 or 8 or 360 probably.
Yeah, probably.
Because there was 16 challenges this time. So whatever that is. Okay. But yeah, so 319, 49, that's 59.
Amazing.
So it all worked out. And now, 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago, not exactly 2.5 years ago now, because we were in South Africa. I was in Caledon, and I said, you know what? Today is the day that I'm going to learn how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
I've never played the guitar. And so I drove 35 minutes to a place called Hermanus, which is on the coast of South Africa, and I found a guitar store. Yeah. And I bought a guitar, a little piece of shit guitar. And I was like, hey, dude, can you please just show me 3 chords? Yeah. And he said, sure. So he showed me these 3 chords. And it was an A chord, G chord, and a D chord. And I was like, all right, cool. Thank you. And that was it. And ever since that day, I never stopped playing guitar every single day of my life. Wow. I play for hours, like hours and hours. And then like about a year into playing the guitar, I started trying to rap the songs that I made into the guitar. And it was real hard. It was like I sucked real bad at it because I would just strum once and then I would tap it because I didn't know how to strum. Gotcha. I had no idea even how to strum. I still don't even know how to play with a pick really. I barely do. Yeah. So I play with my finger. And now I can like finger pick better because it's like a piano to me. So I went to an open mic and it scared me so bad, dude. Like scared. Like I was so scared, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna try it. So the second time I ever went to open mic, I said that to myself. I was like, all these dudes in here are gonna know me, and now I'm a year into it, and I did it. Like they know me now, and I could do it. And it's like
That's
it's crazy.
awesome.
Like I can do open mics anywhere in the world now, no problem. And I don't even, and I'm not good, but I suck a little less than I did last time. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
getting better
crazy.
every day. I totally agree. Yeah, just
Yeah,
working every day, be better today than you were yesterday kind of thing.
and
Yeah.
that's all it is. And sometimes, like along the way, I've failed for sure a
Yeah.
lot in my life. Like I failed at business. I failed at different things. Like I tried an Ironman, and
Okay.
I did an Ironman, a half Ironman, not even a full,
Yeah.
a half, and I failed miserably. I finished it. I didn't quit. I finished it, but I failed miserably. Like I didn't even come close to winning.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's like, dude, like I'm not a triathlete, but I tried
Yeah.
and I went for it. You know what I mean? I didn't necessarily train, but I tried it. You know what I mean? So, and I figured out I really didn't love it, but I mean, I'll do another one someday, maybe. I don't know. And
Yeah, man.
I would love to do a full one before I die for sure.
Yeah.
So I got my feet wet. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I'll give that a shot. And so I failed miserably. Baseball. I was the worst baseball player on my team for 11 years.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
how long. Like
Sure.
forever, dude. I sucked. But it took me a little while to find my niche, and then I just found it and
Yeah.
just sent it.
Yeah, I mean, based on everything we've been talking about, it sounds like there's a real strong concept of follow your passion. I agree with that because if you chase money, that's never gonna work. You can't
You're
just
never
go.
going to be good at it, dude.
No, you have to follow the stuff you love, and also,
Have
yeah,
to.
balance sounds super important as well. And I mean, with you, literally too, with like action sports, balance is huge. Yeah, I think just moderation in life in general. Yeah, follow your passion, balance, moderation. Like, dude, it's so simple, but it's hard for a lot of people to get through whatever they're going through to kind of realize this. But yeah, you're at a place where you can consciously view the world in such a healthy lens where like, dude, yeah, like this is all valuable stuff you're saying, and I
Cool.
appreciate you sharing like this kind of philosophy with whoever is going to watch this. But
Right on, man.
yeah, man. So yeah,
All right. Well,
that's
I appreciate you,
dude,
bro.
I appreciate this. So yeah, thank you so much for letting me talk to you. Yeah, I can't wait for people to check this out. Super cool. Yeah, thank you for the time. And yeah, hopefully one day I'll see you again somewhere.
I hope so, man. Take care of yourself,
Cool,
John. Have a
man.
good
You
one, brother.
too. Have a great night. Appreciate you,
Later,
man.
man.
Good night.